Hey ghouls and gals, it's your favorite horror TV girl, Tiffany Toxin here, bringing you the latest on American Horror Story Season 8 Apocalypse. 2 flashback episodes for your viewing pleasure, that's right. Episode 6, Return to Murder House, and Episode 7, I Got That Voodoo for You Witches. Stay tuned and find out who was ranked on the Toxin Gore meter, and also find out who is on my naughty list. If you like the video, give your girl a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. Welcome back. Now let's start by getting the lowdown on episode 6, Return to Murder House. We start this episode with Madison and Behold pulling up to the infamous murder house. And let me just add, these two are always looking so fierce. The fashion choices in this are simply just flawless. I love it. Anyways, these two pose as a married couple and ultimately become the new owners of Murder House. Now, how do two magical people such as themselves end up getting answers from a house? Why, conjuring a spell, of course, duh. Anyways, these two end up conjuring a spell and spirits start to appear. First we have Tate, and then Dr. Harmon, and then Violet, oh my. And then they also have the pleasure of meeting a live, breathing person, medium Billy Dean Howard, along with having the pleasure of meeting a non-breathing person, the pleasant Constance Langdon herself, and her ever so favorite redhead, Maura. Some grudges never die. Constance is more than willing to tell them everything they need to know about her grandson, but for a small price. So Madison and Behold get the 411 on Michael Langdon. We've got ourselves a pet, babysitting, and priest-killing antichrist on our hands. Feeling quite abandoned and dealing with some daddy issues, Michael Langdon sets upon his satanic journey. Being discovered by some Satanists who feel they have found their chosen one, this trio includes Meade and the ever-famous Anton LaVey. And in order to show Michael his true powers, they perform a ritual. And in this ritual, we now discover that it is neither Tate nor Ben who is Michael's father, but it is the Dark Lord himself, Father Satan. This episode ranks a level 5 out of 10 on the Toxin Gore meter. Now let's talk about episode 7, I Got the Voodoo for You Witches. This episode starts with Madison and Behold finally spilling the beans about Michael to Cordelia, and she knows she must act fast. However, this task might call for a little bit more, a little voodoo magic. And Cordelia hires Dinah, our voodoo witch of the coven, to call upon Papa Legba, the voodoo devil himself. And she requests that he open the gates of hell and lock Michael in there forever. Now, Papa Legba is more than willing to grant this request, but for a price. A soul. A witch soul. Multiple witch souls. This leads Cordelia to refuse, as she will not make the same mistake Fiona did when promising and sacrificing Nan's soul. This appearance, Nan's appearance, actually completes the entire circle of our coven members from season 3. They have all made their appearance. Meanwhile, Madison seeks the help of Bubbles, McGee, and Myrtle in getting to the bottom of Ariel and Baldwin's ulterior motives. And our new witches, Coco and Mallory, well, their powers are growing and they're discovering even more powers they didn't know they had. Mallory's powers are actually getting so strong that they decide to test her of that of the 7 wonders because Zoe feels she is actually the new Supreme and Michael isn't. Could this be why Cordelia is fading fast? Well, Mallory does pass all of that of the 7 wonders and actually brings John Henry back to life. Speaking of John Henry, Myrtle and Bubbles get Ariel and Baldwin to have a lovely dinner with them in which the two warlocks admit their role in John Henry's death. And Cordelia actually gets Coco to be bait and lure Meade into their trap and get her confession as well. Now, those three traitors, well, two traitors and one psychotic satanic priestess, I guess, well, they must pay for their sins in the role of John Henry's death. I give this episode a solid 3 out of 10 on the Toxin Gore meter. Overall, both of these episodes are jam-packed with important information, painting that vivid picture of what and who led up to the end of days. Personally, episode 6 was phenomenally directed by the wicked Sarah Paulson herself, and I give it 5 wicked stars overall. I really loved that episode. Episode 7 was a little slow for me. I did enjoy it though. Overall, I am loving this season still, and I am craving more after every episode. Now to our epic question. Who made Tiffany Toxin's naughty list? Besides the obvious fashionably clad warlocks who love to do naughty little things like plot to kill their fellow warlock, besides those, I have 2 who made the naughty list. The first one is Nan. Who knew that saucy little vixen would love the underworld so much? And 2 is Michael. After a little bit more insight into his evil past, it just adds to his, well, evil and his naughtiness. Naughty, naughty. Now, please comment below your thoughts, your dislikes, your predictions, or just comment anything you want. I love to hear from my fellow horror fiends. Until next time, and a happy Halloween.